This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting, brought to you by Spreaker from iHeart. I'm Gavin Gaddis, in for Tom Webster. Here's what you need to know for today, Tuesday, January 16th. First up, from Semaphore, the incredible shrinking podcast industry. This article covers Apple's change to auto-download behavior that was released with iOS 17 back in September. While the change was a net positive for the health of the download metric, many podcasters were surprised by the sudden change. Tanny's piece serves as an excellent reason why clear and open communication is key for podcasting's future, despite the Apple Podcast bug fix being a collaborative effort by over 60 podcasting companies. Semaphore was able to interview several sources at large publishers and not hear mention of it. It should also be noted that the bug, Apple Podcasts auto-downloading every missed episode if a user came back after an extended absence, was in fact a bug and not an intentional design decision that was later reversed. Also, not an intentional decision like the cat you just heard jump on something in the background. Next up from Search Engine Land, TikTok reports non-skippable video ads may harm engagement. A new study conducted by TikTok and Magna Media Trials reports that 73% of TikTok respondents agree that having the ability to skip videos makes them more engaged in the viewing experience. 56% of respondents are more likely to actively watch videos sponsored by a brand when they have that option to skip. Good news for TikTok's scrolling video app that allows infinite, immediately skippable sponsored content. Much in the same way the open podcasting world has had fully skippable ads since the industry's inception. Next up from Digiday, how children's privacy laws complicate connected TV tracking practices. Connected TV faces a legal gray area when it comes to IP address level tracking, as children's privacy laws consider IP addresses to qualify as quote-unquote personal information, leading to a sticky situation where collecting the IP address of a household that is known to house a child could be considered illegal under legislation like the California Consumer Privacy Act or future changes to the federal level with the FTC updating the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. While CTV is on the front lines of dealing with current and upcoming legislation that limits advertising to children, podcasting also uses IP addresses for targeting reasons. Digiday's Tim Peterson breaks down the current legal landscape for CTV tracking and a handful of both upcoming and potential state-level legislations in his 9-minute YouTube explainer. Next, from Ad News, S&P says advertisers have resumed spending. According to Standard & Poor's forecast for 2024, the U.S. digital advertising revenue total will increase 10.2% year over year, largely due to stabilizing global economy and growth after a shaky 2023. Digital video and retail media networks are projected to be the fastest expanding segments of advertising as they directly benefit from growth in digital shopping, video consumption, and CTV. Next from iHeart. iHeart Media announces return of the iHeart Podcast Awards with live event in partnership with South by Southwest, March 11th, 2024. On March 11th, the iHeart Awards will be presented live at South by Southwest in the Fairmont Hotel, as well as broadcast live online. The awards ceremony caps off a more podcast-heavy South by Southwest this year, following Sounds Profitable's first official full-day Business of Podcasting event on Saturday, March 9th. The series of 4 panels nestled within the advertising track will promote discussion that elevates the podcast industry overall. As for the rest of the news, PodPod reports Audio Boom has hit a 35% year-over-year revenue growth. FlightPath premieres campaign predictions that can project 1 year into the future. Magellan AI adds attention metrics with Adelaide, and Pushkin appoints Greta Cohn as CEO. Be sure to check out all the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The Download is written and produced by Brian Barletta, myself, and Tom Webster. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us tomorrow.